Today is January 17th. Frankie Montas is out with an injury. The Yankees are down a starter. Let's talk about it. Let's talk Yanks.
Talking Yanks with old Jomboy Jake. Recaps galore, weekly awards, stat lines, steam and hot takes. Get your Yankees news from these two fine dudes. It's time for Talkin' Yanks. Talking Yanks with old Jomboy Jake. Talking Yanks with old Jomboy Jake.
Hello and welcome to Talkin' Yanks. My name's Jimmy. His name is Jake. Producer BBD also here, and we're going to talk about the Yankees. It's episode 838 of Talkin' Yanks, and we thank you for joining us. If you watch on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel, hit like, and leave a comment below. Jake.
Jimmy.
Yep.
Davis. Frankie the Yankee. Hope everyone is doing well. Middle of January. Some bad news came across the wire. A lot of people were talking themselves into this guy, especially as the fifth starter. I got some news of that. I'm all right. A little worn out. Bachelor party weekend. Drinks, flowing, talks, sports, love.
You spill any drinks?
Definitely.
Probably.
Definitely.
When did this news come about?
When did this news come about?
I think it was over the weekend. And then was it Friday night? Was it a Friday night news dump?
Something like that. Maybe
Or maybe
came
it
out
was
Saturday.
No, I think it was Thursday. I think we were at the warehouse because I think I told Jake in person when you walked in. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it was at the warehouse. Okay, it's Thursday. This news came out.
Thursday.
So it's been a little bit, and we haven't heard any secondary updates, like what's next from anyone or any rumblings or anything. And there's an easy internal path that we'll talk about, but since Thursday and then nothing else. This is the latest news. Frankie Montas is going to miss the first month of the season at least with shoulder inflammation, which is the same thing he had when they traded for him. So how do you know that it's going to end in a month when you didn't know that it wasn't ever going to end already? So that seems like just a placeholder of a timeline that is very loose to me already. And then also, he's 8 to 10 weeks behind. Why are we just finding out why? And I get it's injuries, and we can't speculate, but like it seems like so many guys are doing this too late.
And while we're talking about when they acquired him, he had this going on. Max Goodman reposted the article he put out there when they got him because he asked Boone about the shoulder injury that had him on the IL before he got there. And he said, Boone had said, I think we're comfortable with where he's at shoulder-wise, and we know he's going to be a big addition. And then he called it a hiccup and not like a big deal. So that sounds like the Yankees just had no idea.
Just another little hiccup. But the same hiccup that you thought might happen coming in. The same hiccup that happened coming in. And the same hiccup that's now happened again before it started. And like you're saying, putting a timeline on it feels hilarious because
It's been had inflammation.
technically this same injury goes back months.
Yes. And maybe they just thought rest and recovery was going to work out. And then they check in, a month before spring training. And he says, actually, no, I still feel bad. I have no idea what goes on behind the scenes. It just seems really odd timing. And you know what? You have to move forward as if he's not pitching next year. You have to. It's been a year of an injury. And when he did pitch, he wasn't great, a lot because of that injury. And the Yankees have to publicly say, like, well, he's going to be a big addition when he gets back. But internally, and even publicly if they want, because you've heard other teams say this, they have to plan like he's not part of the team. Like, that's what the Red Sox said about Trevor Story, who is slated to come back after the All-Star break, but The Red Sox said, we have to plan as if he's not available next year. That's how the Yankees have to act.
Right. I think they had 4 to 6 months on Story, which, again, we'll get away from Montas' timeline for a second. 4 to 6 months, if you're doing 6 months, no spring training, that almost gets you through it.
Yeah, but if you're doing 4 months, that gets you to, June.
Right, but whenever we do that, you normally lean towards
Yes,
the latter
yes,
anyways,
yes.
and no spring training, et cetera.
If
Which
the Yankees,
That's
had,
from
a,
now,
if the
not
Yankees
from-
had Trevor Story out, they would not say, we have to act as if he's out for the year. They would say
Correct.
he's going to be a big addition when he gets back.
Correct. I think Red Sox were doing shots fired a little bit where the Yankees are in fear of what they've done by trading for Frankie Montas.
When they traded for Frankie Montas, they got him from the Athletics who wear green.
And Frankie Montas, I don't think he's had his athletic greens.
Well,
You know?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
you know what AG1 athletic greens is supposed to do?
What's it supposed to do? AG Mahmood, my old boss at Domino's.
With 1 scoop of AG1, you're getting 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, and probiotics to help start your day right. The special blend of ingredients support your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, recovery, focus, and aging, all the things. Maybe a shoulder?
All the things.
Maybe a shoulder? Contains less than 1 gram of sugar, no GMOs, no nasty chemicals or anything, or artificial anything, while still tasting good, and less than $3 a day. It's cheaper than going out and buying yourself a coffee. And right now, Athletic Greens is giving you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/Yanks. Again, that is athleticgreens.com/Yanks to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. For Frankie, out, kind of a fake timeline. It is a contract year for him and a final year for him and probably a final year with the Yankees. So I guess when we've talked about some of the other guys in the past, whether it's a Severino or other pitchers who've gotten hurt, you do think about the future a little bit. I guess the Yankees don't have to do that. So I don't know what that'll look like in this equation at all. But saying those 8 to 10 weeks he was somehow healthy, they won't have any restrictor on him because this will be his last year as a Yankee. But I don't know. I mean, most importantly, I think Frankie Montas will be around, and if he gets healthy and pitches, they'll do it. If not, I mean, Domingo Germán survives and flourishes again and maybe our 5th starter.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. You need 7 starters to start a season. That is what the Yankees say. It's what Cashman and co. and everyone always says. Well, you have 4.5 right now. So you need more starters.
I think they would say they have 6 between Domingo, we know they like him, and Clark Schmidt.
They would say that. I disagree. Both guys you took out of this rotation, you constantly take out of the rotation. One of them is going to need to be bullpen only, and you're going to have to make that decision on him soon before you completely mess with him. And the other, the same thing. Well, they're both the same. That goes for both of them. So, yeah, I'd like for them to go get someone, like, go knock on the Marlins door and see what they want. I don't need like a stud because you can find one at the deadline, but another guy's going to go down.
Right.
And then if you have Germán and Clark both in the rotation, you're not where you want to be at all.
Yep.
So you need to go get a starter. It doesn't need to be a crazy high caliber starter, but I think you need a body that is a major league starter.
Okay. Who are you thinking? Who are you eyeballing?
Oh, I don't know. We have a list here in front of me. I haven't given this next part a ton of thought. I'd like trades more than the free agent list. But if they go to the free agent list, I don't know.
Like for the role we need to start the year, not against any one of these guys necessarily. But
I mean, Alex Mills is my guy. He throws 68 miles per hour sometimes. That's funny. I don't know if he's up above Germán, Clark. We got Greinke, Waka, Bundy. That'll be fun for you. Chris Archer. Michael Pineda, Danny Duffy. I don't believe that they're going to go get any of those guys.
Michael Wacha was
Wacha-
good for the Sox last year.
Actually, he's different than the rest, in my opinion.
A little bit, right?
Yeah.
On on that list, I linked to Fangraphs, where their free agent tracker where there's other guys. He's the only one that's still like projected to get a 2-year deal from someone. So they say he's different too.
He's 31. He kind of had his bounce back year he's been waiting for with the Red Sox last year. And teams have been thinking he was going to bounce back. Remember the Rays signed him, and we were like, oh, okay. If the Rays believe
Chris
in you.
Archer?
No. Wacha.
He said
Still
that. Yes, okay, sorry. I remembered a note about, you reminded me of something.
Okay. And Wacha, if you remember when he was with the Rays, he actually had some times when he looked good, and you're like, oh. And then he joined the Red Sox last year, 23 starts, a 3.32 in Fenway. That's very impressive. And how often do we see guys do the lap? He's in an AL East lap right now. Tampa Bay Rays, Boston Red Sox. He's kind of got to complete his lap. Like, he has the Blue Jays, Yankees, and Orioles
Why do you guys do that?
bidding for him. I think it's as simple as scouting sometimes isn't as crazy as you think it is. And I think when teams see a guy more, they're like, I saw something there.
He pitches in the division.
Like I saw him start 4 times last year.
That's definitely how it used to be. I wonder if it still is.
It makes
still
more
do
sense
laps.
for like position player, I feel like, in principle, because at least since like the more you see a pitcher, it's usually advantage hitter. But it also makes some sense pitching wise if you're scouting a guy, you've seen him a few times.
I do.
You reminded me because
Okay.
Archer also, people didn't know if he was going to make it back healthy, and then Tampa signed him. So my brain, when you said that, because I went up to Cashman way back that spring or when he was maybe going to get traded or signed, that whatever it was. I think it was 2019 or 2020, and Cash almost was like no interest.
No.
So you can rule him off this list unless they really changed their
Unless
mind.
something changed.
But yeah, Walk is the only guy that you're like, all right, let's see. Out on that list, I think there's got to be trade candidates other places that you can get. Like Greinke's not coming. I don't think they're getting Danny Duffy. I don't.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I mean, Chad Kuhl is a free agent,
That's cool. And if it's a trade, it wouldn't be a.
right?
I'm not. I'd love for them to go get Pablo Lopez or something like that, obviously. But if it's a trade for a guy to do this role, it's another team's quadruple A pitcher that we don't know about.
It's like they need to clear a 40-man spot. They want.
Yeah, they might even
piece.
wait till the end of spring training. Which guy doesn't break camp, and the Yankees can go pick a guy. They might even go down that far, which I'd like to do more than that. But
yeah,
I'd like to come in with a guy.
I mean, I guess what's interesting, if you're phrasing it like that, these veterans that are on the borderline of that, another major league contract, are they going to do the minor league fight? A lot of those guys are looking for opportunity. Like even when we've done the left fielders and we took Willie Calhoun and guys like that, if you're a guy who's chasing, if you're borderline and the Yankees' 5th spot is more or less open, like right now with a couple of the pitching things, and we'll get to Mike King in a second, there are, like, someone out of camp is going to make the team. I don't know. If you're a Big Mike Pineda or a Mike Minor or Danny Duffy, and you're not getting real major league contracts, like, it wouldn't be kind of one of those cop-out Yankee invites. Like, if you have a solid spring training and you're Michael Pineda, I think right now you would make the team.
I think so, because you'd keep the other guys down and like behind you, and you just those cold months, you just pitch. Seen teams do that and then let them go. Who did that? Like Keuchel's been doing this for a while. It feels like, or did he do it with the White Sox last year?
He floated around last year. He had a weird year. That'd be tough because then is he shaving?
I'm just saying, teams have signed pitchers to do this first month a couple times.
Yeah. Well, and I guess for me, because you mentioned the Marlins, and this is somewhere we haven't been fully aligned. If we're gonna trade, I would still rather trade and get help on offense than get another starting pitching weapon you're going to have to pay for. If you could bring in...
If they're going to do one trade.
If I had to pick...
Yes, but they don't even get to pick.
Maybe.
You're ready to part with assets. There's teams with position players can just say no.
Teams with pitchers could just say no.
Exactly. I'm saying they don't get to choose that. There's a lot of stuff that happens with that.
Sure. A lot of teams.
But I would... I don't know what I'd rather.
Right?
Because I think they're good enough overall team right now. Like, they're going to be ranked. I mean, Zip's projections had them to be the best team in all
one of the best
baseball.
teams in baseball.
You could get
We're
through
trying to get over a hump. I mean, we
Yeah.
haven't been to the World Series in a while. Like, we need to
I just think
raise the bar.
I need to start looking at who's going to be available at the deadline. Who's got a year and a half left? Who's got half a year left? Because it seems like the Yankees should be doing that as well. And saying, what can we get now? Okay, what might be available to us at the deadline? And who's got the year and a half like they just got for Frankie? Because I don't know that list. And I think the Yankees have to be smart enough to be looking at both lists and seeing where to pivot, because they're good enough to get through the first half of the season. They don't take April seriously anyway.
Right.
I mean, they do. They want to win, but they take it very light. And they kind of admit that.
Yeah.
They treat it as second spring training. So I want to see the full list of those guys, because they might be eyeing a pitcher there they like better, or just looking at it if it's trades.
They want to see what the guys they already have here can do.
If they
for
think
April.
that the best way to make the team better is a trade, not what's left in free agency, then you do have to compare the pools of what might be available halfway and what's available now, or might be available now.
Yeah, it's interesting. Fangraphs, roster resource, we tell you guys here and there. Go check that out. It's an informative page, and it's a good way to look at the team. Right now it has Domingo slotted as the 5. It currently has our last two guys in the bullpen as Albert Abreu and Davy Garcia.
Oh, Garcia got the bump here.
So, there's I think there's spots on the team to be won. I mean, right there it has Clark Schmidt in AAA. It has Michael King injured, which we're getting to a second, and has Heel and Montas out.
You just trade for Ohtani at the death. You just chalk that in.
You're thinking you pencil that in.
You get your outfielder, you get your pitcher.
I'll tell you what. If the Yankees trade for Ohtani at the deadline, I don't know if I'd need to go to Roman.
You just be ready to go.
I would be ready. But if you're feeling like you're without Ohtani in your downstairs area, you might want to reach out to Roman. Valentine's Day is sneaking up, people. And again, I usually end up here, but if you're dealing with something here, because here's a couple options. If you're dealing with some PE, some premature E in the bedroom, Roman's got stuff for that. Lasts 4 times longer. If you've got low testosterone, they've got stuff for that. It'll help your sex drive. Roman, everything is online. There's no waiting rooms. There's no hassle. And they send everything right to your front door. Free shipping, discreet packaging. To get Roman ready, better sex this Valentine's Day. Yes.
What?
Yes. Go to row.co/Jomboy. row.co/Jomboy. And you get 20% off your entire first order. Do it by February 8th for guaranteed shipping in time. ro.co/Jomboy. Take care of it. Take care of it if this is something you're dealing with. We messed around with these a little bit this weekend.
You want Disco for a year and a half?
Disco Neal.
No, but yes.
He's
Giants-
calling Pirates games part-time.
Giants got a ton. Stripling, Mania, Disco, year and a half. Alex Wood for half the year. And you package him with Jock. And you got your outfielder.
Okay, so we just
Him and
need...
I and Stripling both, some team options. That's interesting.
You just need the Giants to be out of the double wild card race by the deadline.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't they not trade last deadline? And they should
They
still
never
be. They
really-
should be a little better than last year.
They never really
Lost for
trade.
Don.
How about Martin Perez from the Rangers? Finally need to cash in on him.
Need them to be out of it by then. Yeah, I mean, there's going to be guys available. It's just who and how many, and we actually closing the circle on Frankie Montas. That's how we ended up there, which has me a little less excited than I normally would be, I guess. We finished in second place for Castillo, so we moved on to the next guy, and it was Frankie Montas. And
yeah, and I wasn't necessarily against the trade when it happened. I think I wanted help. Talked myself into him being good. After the first 2 starts and the first 3 interviews, I was like, oh no, this feels so much like Sonny Gray.
You love a good splitter.
Again. I love a good splitter. I was very excited for a splitter.
Wanted to see him.
Yeah, man.
It just doesn't feel like he's going to be a guy for the Yankees.
It was just funny. I mean, Yankees talking, I'll never forget, Jim.
Brad Keller?
I'm going to forget a lot in this life. I already have.
Yeah.
When we went
First time you tied your shoes.
Oh yeah.
You have no idea. Yeah.
Gone.
At one point in your life, you remembered that.
Yeah. Honestly, probably for like 10 minutes.
Well, you were like, what, 12 years old?
15.
That like first 24 hours, and you were like, I did it.
When we went to Yankee spring training, and we did it was Stanton and Judge.
Yep.
And everyone was doing but Gary Sanchez is the best hitter.
Matthew Boyd's available.
I think he got signed by Detroit.
But he will be available.
1 year, 10
But he
mil.
will be available. Yes,
deadline.
he will be.
We're just giving you every name I see.
John Means always finds a way. Frankie Montas as the 5th starter became the Gary Sanchez as the best hitter on the team. Like a lot of the Yankees convos we've been having lately, like some of our people around the office, even some of the Yes Network people we're friendly with, everyone was like, Montas has a 5. Everyone was kind of doing that.
Piece.
And now here.
That's the greatest way to say you don't have faith in someone.
Right.
Like, oh, we don't care if you end up good this year.
I like him on the bench.
You could be mediocre.
Yeah.
He could be almost bad. And we're all right with it.
Lucas Giolito.
Interesting. We'd need the White Sox to continue their stink.
They're trying to cut some payroll.
Kluber from the Red Sox. Get him back.
Little Yankees-Red Sox trade. That always works out.
They need a shortstop. Kluber for IKF. Favorites.
Paxton. You got Gibby. Baltimore. They signed him to trade him. No idea. No idea, because the Yanks can roll into camp as is right now, and it almost is going to make the general public very upset with the offseason, with even though they went out, got Rodon, got Judge. But then, yeah, it does feel like after Rodon, the balloon was there. It was so big, and we wanted them to do the next move and burst it. Let's go. And it's just been slowly lowering to like where it was when we knew Judge was coming back, but not when he was back.
Right. Well, it was re-sign Judge and Rizzo on offense, which they did.
Yeah.
And we liked that. And that was kind of like our baseline. They signed Carlos Rodon, which was a huge signing.
Yeah.
A massive signing, and you love that, what that can be at the top of the rotation. Sevy on his next year, the story of Nestor continues. Even Tommy Kahnle, man, he's one that I keep, as Yankee fans, we're like, yeah, Tommy's back. Nice. Like, he's a high-end bullpen guy we brought in. But, again, with the offense kind of being the end game problem, knowing how in they were in on Benny, and now with the Montas news, because even with that, the sexy fun line of like, well, Montas has a 5. He could put together a nice year.
I like Montas as not in the playoff rotation.
Now he's out.
That's basically where we had him.
Yeah.
We had an episode where he sweet-talked ourselves into Rafael Ortega, and don't think I won't again.
That Zips projection loved Ortega.
Yeah, the Zips projection did. They had him with 12 bombs.
He's got me unzipped.
And Zips projections are always super low. They always have everyone on like
they have everyone except for Gleyber Torres.
They have everyone's like 30th percentile year, and they love Bader and they love Ortega.
Oh, I just got excited for the baseball reference projections that are always a little off. Except two of them come in and you're like, that's right.
You know what? BBD asked
The
me.
reliability.
Yeah.
BBD asked me for the intro music to the player
Yeah.
profile and projections the other day, and I listened to just to make sure I was sending him the right song, and I got excited.
It gives you an itch.
Yeah, scratch yourself.
Gives you an itch. I'm good.
So
Play
we're
that
recording those
song.
next week. You guys won't hear them, the audience, for like a month, but
Get ready to clown.
I think a month
around.
from today, as we're recording this, is when the first one comes out.
Ooh.
So
what?
what do you think will be next? Because I know we've got some other notes here. Profar, mentioned Mike King. Some veteran pitcher will be invited to camp with a genuine shot to make the team. That's probably it.
Somebody who's got MLB time.
Yeah, I was even going to say more than that. I was going to say, first, there's no 40-man moves. Like, there's no cleanup moves needed right now. They're good as is.
I
Right.
think there's.
Because they've announced
I
everyone.
think we're at 40 right now, so
Okay.
just whenever they do the next thing,
they'd have to
move
get
has
rid
to
of a
happen,
guy. And do we have anyone on the 40-man that's expendable? Have to, but that sounds mean. But
Yeah, no, I mean, I think we're-
Florial's out of options this year. There's going to be something there.
more
Davey might
expendable
be
than
out of
that. I mean, like
options.
sometimes they put like
Jimmy Cordero.
Rule 5 guys on there, or like
Jimmy Cordero.
They went out of their way to add Cordero to.
But they've done that
40
before.
minutes
Remember, they went
offseason.
out of their way to add Donnie Sands,
Yeah, I guess
and
he
then
was
they
gonna become a
immediately.
free
It's a
agent.
way to trade people.
That reliever they brought in, we got excited. Junior Fernandez. I had him as a lock in the bullpen. He's already gone. So yeah, I mean we're still in expendable season. Outside of our catchers, Higgy, Rortfett, Trivino.
Maybe Brito comes up. Johnny Brito comes up halfway through the season.
Maybe.
Wows everyone away. It is looking like Jimmy Cordero is the movable, or like take him off. You got some young guys there that I mean, Weister, if they wanted to trade him, if someone comes poking after what he did, and there's I
Someone
think
might be
there
like,
might be a
"Ooh,
minimal
Slimer."
move of a guy in the end of the 40-man that we all get excited to clear up space, but they're just doing it before the season starts, before spring training starts. Otherwise, a flurry of what you're saying.
They
Like,
also have a
3 to
bunch of
5.
guys who will 60-day once spring training happens. Zeph Ross, someone else. So they've got.
Yeah, to
I guess
save
Frankie's heading that way.
to save space.
Also, maybe we just give Clark Schmidt an actual spring training as beat Domingo Herman for the 5th starter job. And if you do, this is your actual chance to be a Yankee starter.
I like him in the bullpen. I'd rather start Herman and then kick him again and just give Clark bullpen straight away and stop messing with him.
With his injury history too, it wouldn't. You could see them finally being like, you're a bullpen guy. We're not inningsing you, but I like you, Clark.
Man, it's
Well, they need a 3-inning guy because Litke's gone, and if Herman's going to the starting spot, that's why I don't think Davey joins the bullpen. I think Clark and Herman are both on the team. One's the 3-inning guy, and one is a starter going 4 innings.
I would just, if someone's going to be in a messed up role where we might need a spot start and we need you to throw innings out of the pen, do that to Domingo Herman. Like Clark Schmidt,
For those guys, I agree.
Last year, he's 26. He gets 8 starts in AAA, a 3.27. This guy was a prospect for us. He came up. He was doing that. And then remember, Mike King goes down. And we were like, well, we kind of need you. We need you to be Mike King. Which, I mean, it's kind of nice. It was a show role, but also Mike King had elevated himself to this crazy level. He was throwing 100, throwing that Frisbee 92-mile-per-hour slider. If they came out, or even bring in a veteran too, but just say go get this Clark Schmidt. Because if it's not this year, it's absolutely over and the door is shut.
His appearances last year were all over the place.
He was in a weird place a bunch of times.
He had 7th inning in a 3-run or less game or tie. No, with a 1 to 3 run lead hold situation. Okay, he had 2 with 3 runs, and then 2 in the 8th inning. I thought he had more than that. So just 2. I thought they flung him into that role more. But
Weird year for Clark.
yeah, it's really weird.
His
Baseball
stats
reference.
ended up being really solid.
Yeah, 312.
I mean,
They just needed. They messed with him a lot. I mean, he was doing a lot of weird shit.
they messed with him a lot, and
But he didn't start a single game. No, he started 1 and went 3 innings.
he started a couple.
Oh, yeah, sorry. He started 2 down there too.
And his whole minor league career, he's been a starter.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I think you're going to see a flurry of guys. Like you said, they signed one guy as a minor league inviter. I think they might.
I'm pretty excited for the day we get the tweet of the non-roster guys, and we get
And you
we
find
get
out
like 2 surprise ones that we didn't hear about.
Dietrich got an invite. You're like, what?
He's here.
Do we want to attach ourselves to one random free agent starting pitcher?
I think Danny Duffy gets an invite.
Okay. It's a fun name. How about Duffy and Mike Minor? We get alliteration both ways. MMDD.
Mike Minor? I thought he's not with the team. Who did I just say?
Danny Duffy.
No, earlier.
Mike Pineda, we talked.
You're confusing
about.
your lefties. Matt Boyd.
Matt Boyd.
Yeah. He signed with Detroit? Yeah. I confused
pretty
those two a
early.
lot.
Lefties.
Well, similar story, too.
South Pass.
Both grew up playing baseball, made it to the show.
It's a similar track.
Yeah.
Cashman will call Pineda's agent. Just see what's up. He likes him.
No, last time you saw Pineda, he couldn't even walk.
I mean, that's what I'd say. If Big Mike happens, just to get some of your commentary.
I'm not
Would be
I'm not
worthwhile.
against him.
No, you
I
like
actually
Big Mike.
liked Big Mike a
Yeah.
lot. He looks like I don't know about that. Let's
Why don't you guys go to DraftKings? The NFL playoff action continues. Our Talkin' Giants watch party was off the chain last weekend. Mr. Purple, I bet. And they're probably going to go on and win the Super Bowl. But they'd have to get through the divisional round. And at the DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the NFL, you can bet $5 and get 200 in free bets instantly. Plus, all new and existing customers can take a shot. Even bigger payout with DraftKings stepped up same game parlays. Parlays. A lot of people did good on Saquon and Mr. Purple the other night.
at the end.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code YANKS. New customers can bet $5 on NFL divisional round and get 200 free bets instantly. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code YANKS. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details.
I am saying this very retroactively and even
Okay.
egg on my face or whatever because I didn't hate all the moves that Cash did at the deadline.
Okay.
Shaping up to be brutal. Besides Harrison Bader, shaping up to be,
Which is the one that was most disliked at the time.
Yeah, but if you could have got him not for Monty, like you could still get him. But yeah, I mean, you'd love to have Monty still around. You'd love to have JP Sears still around instead of having Montas be there. And then Benintendi got hurt and didn't resign. You can't do anything with that. Like, it was a good trade. They didn't even give up a lot for Benintendi at all. So I'm not trying to sit here and say it was a bad trade at the time, but it did not work out.
Correct.
And even Frankie Montas, I don't think it was a terrible trade at the time, but that's shaping up to be a bad one.
Maybe Montas will baiter us. He's just twirling it.
Maybe. I don't know. I wanted to like him so much. But he just never seemed to realize the team was trying to win.
It's hurt.
He was playing hurt.
Playing hurt, tipping his pitches. Bad combo.
Real bad combo, yeah. Yeah, not great.
And sounds like the injury's not improved with time away, which is tough.
Yeah.
Not great.
What else do you got here that you want to close the show with?
Well, we
Anything?
touched on Mike King. He's throwing, but I'm guessing the Yankees are going to be super cautious with him. And, that's fair either way. As he's building up, and hopefully he can become whatever he was last year. All the arbitration got closed except Gleyber's. Do you know that?
Yep. They'll get close. Didn't Gleyber's go to the end last year too? I thought he did at some point.
May have. I'd have to look
or at least
back at
past
it.
the day, maybe. I don't remember.
One of them went pretty close.
I mean, Judge was the one that was.
Yeah, well, that was the one that they went to the Zoom court. But I thought Gleyber.
And I mean, I guess the good news is they are quick math. I think they're $500K apart. The Yankees filed at 9.7. Gleyber filed at 10.2.
Just mean the middle of 10 flat.
To go to a player that you know has been challenged mentally by New York City in the grind, to go to arbitration with Gleyber over $500K when that's 1/20th of the contract.
They're like over thresholds anyway. Like
To go to court and tell him how bad he is feels like a little bit of a mistake for me.
Well, what about this? They want to go to court and they say, and just want to use it as couples therapy.
Oh.
Because they're like, yeah, dude, we did try to trade you. We thought it would make the team better. It didn't happen. That doesn't give you the excuse to take a month off baseball and be the worst player in all of MLB for a full calendar month just because you got sad that you might have to go live in Miami.
You have this as a tough love.
And then Gleyber's camp comes back and say, well, you're treating him like that 1 month was 3 months because the other 5 sure do carry a lot of weight. Ended up 4th highest second baseman. And then the Yankees
Even
come
with
back.
that.
Yeah, and they say something else. And it's couples therapy. And both sides are like, damn, we needed to get that off our chest.
Woo.
You know?
Yeah.
They're kind of
Gleyber,
relieved.
you
by
get
it.
10-2.
Yeah. And then the Yankees say, you know what? After having such a healthy discourse about our future and past problems, we agree to your number. They just wanted to have the forum.
You think healthy discourse gets mentioned in the...
Well, because it seems aggressive, but all
Wow.
all the people in attendance are like, oh my God, it got heated. And then they're like, no, you know what? That was a little more healthy, D, than heated. So I think that maybe they go to arbitration. But I don't
You're
actually.
rooting for the Yankees to go to arbitration with Gleyber.
If that's the way you have the tough love talk of like, Gley, we love you, but sometimes you are just a baby. If that's how you have the talk.
I think it's over. I think we already had that talk because September came after that August.
Hey, wake up,
And it
idiot.
was done.
You're not traded.
So I don't think we need to do
You're
that.
on the team.
Ricky Bobby, Talladega Nights. Good scene, Jake. Go check it
It's
out.
a good scene. Seen it.
Tough love it is.
We were laughing the other day pretty good at the when he got pow under the under this car. You gotta drive. Better rallies are coming. Another good scene.
Ricky Bobby, Talladega Nights.
Lou Trivino gets paid $4.1 million, which that kind of surprised me.
Did he sign a deal at one point? Did he sign a
I think
2-year deal
he-
with Oakland?
It's like his ARB.
Yeah, I think he agreed a little while ago. Just
Yeah.
where he's at, service time, and I think he had his like a year of saves or something. So
So that's kind of the other side of that Oakland deal. That it was, Montas is getting paid $7.5 million. Lou Trivino's getting paid $4.1. They didn't want to pay those guys.
They like Trivino,
The A's or the Yanks?
the Yankees.
Yes, he was really good with them last year.
it's kind of
Yeah.
becoming
this
the part
was-
that's most worked.
Seeing all the ARB contracts pop up,
Yeah.
it's funny. Again, I think as Yankee fans, if you don't track a lot of the other teams, not a lot of other teams invest in bullpen. Like Lou Trivino making 4.1 in the Yankees pen would be a lot for another team.
To not be your 8th inning or better guy.
Andy Peralta makes 3.35.
Which brings up the question we've all been wondering.
Yes.
Why did the Yankees agree with IKF in November?
It stood out on the page to me.
You're looking at this page and you're like, they're in agreement, and then they're like, IKF in agreement in November.
I'm not shocked from IKF's side.
Yeah, he agreed.
Hell yes. Let's do it again.
Are they going to break camp and be like, IKF's got a good, if he has a great spring.
It's gonna.
He had a good spring this year, didn't he?
Dude, there's still a missing piece to all of this that ties in with Aaron Hicks and his 10-5 rights and him staying on the team, them agreeing so quickly with IKF. I don't know. There's a missing piece to the Yankees offseason puzzle that just has not happened yet.
And you think it will? I don't know if anything will, man. I think they really wanted Benny.
It's part of the...
And we hear that. Like the way Joel Sherman tweets about that, it's like
they were really
someone
thinking
close
they could get
has
him
told
back.
them they really wanted Benny.
So then they didn't understand the gravity of not getting him. Because right now, are they looking at all the other options and being like, oh, shit, we could have gone 5 years?
Do you think Hicks's 10-5 rights matter at all?
I don't think the Yankees would ever take that away from a guy by making sure it doesn't happen. Okay. Because the way that you hear about how they treat the
they
free
wouldn't
agents,
let that be the reason they moved him.
Yeah, they wouldn't let that be the reason. They wouldn't do it to spite his rights of not saying a trade at all. I don't think. And that,
okay.
There's knocks, but you hear from players and guys that how they take care of
That's
guys
why
like
they're
that
the Yankees.
is why, yeah. So, no, I don't think that comes up.
Okay.
Interesting. I
think Hicks will agree to any trade. Oh, I'm going to go start somewhere because they want me to start for them?
Right.
Right. But we should try to figure out a way to do the math on to find the exact date he gets it, because they might have till the deadline before he gets it.
Right, but
it's sometime during the season.
I think to Jim's point there, if the Yankees were going to do it, I think they'd do it in the offseason. So they'd say, well,
so it's not about that.
Aaron's going to get an opportunity to start with Cincinnati, and he's been a good Yankee. We wish him the best. Where if they traded Aaron Hicks the day before he got his 10-5 rights,
sure.
That's not the Yankees. So
and just I think it's easier to move him in the offseason. I think in the offseason a team convinces themselves way easier. They're like, oh, we can make
a
that
little
click.
bit.
We can do spring training with him.
Give us our starting shortstop and Ickif, and let's run it.
No, he's ours.
People are doing a lot of Frankie Montas, the fifth starter, with, IKF off the bench. I don't hate that much.
Oh, what has he offered you off the bench?
He's a little fast.
He didn't really blow us away with that. No.
Just not slow.
I mean, no. I can't. I'm out.
Next step.
If IKF's on the team, he's going to play. That's all I know.
There's a part that's like, the Yankees I don't think they're going to have 3 kids be the shortstops. That's a different episode.
I think our mic was acting up for a second there. Sorry if anyone.
You guys are
heard
making
that.
me so mad.
I'm just
basically
saying,
here rooting for
something's
IKF.
disconnected. Something's disconnected.
You almost
Because everyone's talking about the kids playing, but if IKF, the starting shortstop from last year that played $142 and is making $6 million that they agreed to is on the roster, then I don't know where your kids are playing.
Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you. Goodbye. Go Yanks. Tell them Grams.
Go Yankees.
Don't do that. I mean, you're going to have me screaming like that. No.
Some doesn't make sense.